Welcome to another explainer. Today, we're diving into a completely brilliant, budget-friendly hack that's going to totally transform your backyard. If you've been wanting to start a garden, but the crazy high setup costs have held you back, you are in the exact right place.
I mean, think about it. Why on earth would you spend hundreds of dollars on a store-bought garden bed when you can build one for practically $0? Buying traditional lumber, those fancy metal kits, and enough premium bagged soil to fill them, that can literally cost a small fortune. But by using free upcycled pallets and some really smart filling methods, we can slash those costs down to almost nothing. In this explainer, we're going to walk through exactly how to do this safely, even if you're a complete DIY beginner.
So here's our agenda for today. We're going to cover why choose pallet beds, materials and safety first, the step-by-step building process, planting and wood maintenance, and finally, cost savings and final thoughts. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. Why choose pallet beds? Affordable, accessible, and sustainable. This method really is an absolute game changer for beginner and veteran gardeners alike.
Pallet beds offer some seriously incredible benefits. Not only do they drastically cut your setup expenses, but you're also upcycling waste, keeping perfectly usable wood right out of the landfill. Plus, raising your soil level, that is a lifesaver for preventing backstrain. It vastly improves water drainage, and you get total control over the exact size and shape of your garden. That makes it absolutely perfect for small urban spaces, you know?
Moving right along to Section 2, materials and safety first, sourcing the right pallets and tools. Now, before you just go grab the nearest discarded pallet from behind a grocery store, we really need to talk about the most important part of this project, which is your safety.
This is absolutely crucial. You're going to see these IPPC stamps on the side of the pallets, and there is a vital difference between them. You want to look for and only use wood stamped with the letters HT. That stands for heat treated. It basically means the wood was baked to between 132 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit to kill pests naturally. On the flip side, you must avoid the MB stamp at all costs. MB stands for methyl bromide, which is a highly toxic pesticide. You definitely do not want that leaching into the soil where you're growing your food. If you don't see an HT stamp, just walk away.
And actually, speaking of walking away, here's another golden rule. Never, ever use pallets that smell strange, look oily, or have dark mystery stains on them, even if they do have that HT stamp. A pallet may be heat treated, but if it was used to transport, say, industrial chemicals that spilled, yeah, you do not want that anywhere near your tomatoes. Always err on the side of caution. A clean, safe pallet is the only way to ensure zero harmful chemicals get into your homegrown food. Okay, so what do you actually need? Just a few simple tools. You're going to want 3 to 4 HT stamped pallets. I also highly recommend grabbing a pallet breaker or a demolition tool. Seriously, it'll save you tons of time and frustration when prying those stubborn boards apart. Other than that, you just need a power drill, some deck screws, a staple gun, a saw, a hammer, and a bit of weed tarp or pond liner to protect the inside of your new bed.
All right, Section 3, step-by-step building process. From ground to garden bed, it is time to roll up our sleeves and start building.
By following these 4 simple milestones, honestly, even a total DIY beginner can put together a professional-looking garden frame in just a single afternoon. First up, make sure your ground is perfectly level so water doesn't pool on one side. Next, grab that pallet breaker and dismantle your boards. Then, you're going to assemble the frame. The trick here is to screw the corners directly into those thick, sturdy 2x4 blocks from the pallets. That gives it immense strength. Finally, just staple your weed tarp or plastic liner to the inside walls. That keeps the soil contained and extends the life of your wood.
Now, when you're planning your dimensions, aim for a bed height of about 12 inches. It is literally the sweet spot. A 12-inch depth means you've got plenty of room for deep-rooted veggies, it holds moisture beautifully, and best of all, it doesn't require a massive mountain of expensive dirt to fill it up. Because, let's be real, paying top dollar for bags of dirt is definitely the least fun part of gardening.
Which brings us to Section 4, planting and wood maintenance, filling the bed and protecting the wood. We've got a fantastic secret hack for filling this bed on a tight budget, and a way to make sure that untreated wood lasts for years.
So, have you ever heard of hugelkultur? It's this centuries-old gardening method, and it is an absolute lifesaver for your wallet. Instead of driving to the garden center and hauling back endless bags of premium soil to fill that 12-inch gap, you use free yard waste. We're talking logs, branches, and dead leaves packed right at the base. As all that stuff decomposes, it acts like a giant, nutrient-rich sponge. It feeds your plants slowly and drastically cuts down on how often you need to water. The math on this is just brilliant. By filling the bottom 60% of your raised bed with completely free organic matter from your own yard, you only end up paying for the top 40%, your topsoil and compost. This technique transforms what could be a really expensive project into an incredibly affordable one. Plus, you're actually creating a better self-sustaining ecosystem for those plant roots. Okay, so we have our soil sorted out, but we need to talk about the wood itself. Because we're using safe, untreated pallet wood, here's the reality. Raw, unprotected wood is going to rot in just 3 to 5 years when it's exposed to constant garden moisture. And since you absolutely cannot use toxic pressure-treated wood near your food, you've got to protect your pallet wood naturally, just so all your hard work doesn't rot away.
To protect that investment, you've got some fantastic, 100% food-safe sealants at your disposal. Things like linseed oil, which comes from flax seeds, and tung oil from tung tree nuts. Both of these sink deep down into the wood fibers to block moisture without poisoning your tomatoes. Tung oil is incredibly long-lasting, whereas linseed oil usually needs a quick yearly touch-up. You could also use natural beeswax, or if you want a fun splash of color, a breathable milk paint made from milk protein, clay, and lime. The big takeaway here, you don't need harsh chemicals to make this wood last.
All right, we're in the home stretch. Section 5, costs, savings, and final thoughts, wrapping up your DIY journey. Let's look at the actual financial payoff of everything we've just learned.
$40. Yep, that is the astonishingly low total cost one gardener paid for their entire setup. By sourcing free pallets on local community boards, doing the quick labor themselves, and using that hugelkultur method for the base fill, that $40 covered all their screws, the safe natural paint, and the top-off compost. It really just proves that a beautiful, productive garden is completely within reach, no matter what your budget is.
Now, just a quick heads up before you run out and start dismantling pallets, keep these essential disclaimers in mind. Always verify your local zoning laws and check with your homeowners association if you're planning a front yard garden. Some places have pretty strict rules on aesthetics. Remember to strictly stick to the chemical safety protocols we talked about. Always check for those IPPC stamps. And finally, if you do come across toxic or chemically treated wood, make sure you dispose of it properly according to your local environmental guidelines. Never, ever burn it.
So, armed with these cost-saving secrets, safety rules, and the amazing power of hugelkultur, the only question left is, what are you going to plant first? Are you going to stick to easy starter crops like tomatoes, or maybe dive right into complex companion planting to maximize that new space? There's a whole world of organic gardening waiting for you. Get your hands dirty, transform that waste into a thriving ecosystem, and thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring.